So, what does it mean to be part of Iowa Pacific for you?
It means a lot to me. It's a company that I'm happy to be a part of.
For employees like Mike Polk, working for Iowa Pacific is an adventure. Based out of Elk Grove, Illinois, on the Chicago Terminal Railroad, Polk serves as a conductor. Much like himself, his co-workers enjoy working on this fascinating stretch of railroad. The Chicago Terminal serves Elk Grove Industrial Park with over 20 customers who utilize the railroad. The largest customer in Elk Grove is Battery Foods. Elk Grove has the distinction of being the largest industrial park in the country, making the Chicago Terminal one of the busiest short-line railroads in the region. Not far away from Elk Grove is Bensenville, which is also home to another large industrial park. There are 5 customers in Bensenville, using the short line to ship commodities in and out of Chicagoland. The largest customer in Bensenville is Boise Cascade. The commodities the Chicago Terminal handles includes paper, plastics, sugar and household sweeteners, soybean oil, recycled paper, oil products, and construction material. The Chicago Terminal usually has 3 day jobs that work the industries in the 2 parks. A 9 a.m. job works Elk Grove, while a 5 p.m. job works Bensenville. A cleanup crew is sometimes called around 5 a.m. to cover anything the previous crews couldn't handle on their 12-hour shifts. At the time we shot this video, the Chicago Terminal was using older EMD locomotives. Seen here is a former Illinois Central Paducah rebuilt GP10. We were lucky enough to film this workhorse on one of her last days of operation on the Chicago Terminal. As of 2016, the railroad will likely use 3 CITX GP20Ds to do the switching duties until the end of September. After their lease is over, the older power will most likely come back. Another interesting feature of this short line is that Iowa Pacific stores some unique passenger equipment on the property. Owned by Ed Ellis, Iowa Pacific is home to some of the finest pieces of classic American rolling stock, with one of the largest private collections of passenger cars in the country. In addition to the passenger coaches, Iowa Pacific has a large collection of classic EMD E8 and E9 diesel locomotives that are stored on the Chicago Terminal property. On November 15th, after a short visit to Train Fest in Milwaukee, the Delay in Block camera crew was given special access to a rare deadhead move on the Chicago Terminal. In addition to our cameras, Casey Thomason of Norfolk Southern decided to join in on the chase with a small group of other prominent Chicagoland rail fans. 2 of Iowa Pacific's recently acquired E units, along with a leased B unit, would be transported from Bensenville to Madison, Wisconsin over the Wisconsin and Southern Main Line. Since the lead locomotives were ex-Wisconsin and Southern and still wore the bright red and silver of the previous owner, it made for an interesting move. The locomotives and accompanying coaches were to be used on Iowa Pacific's holiday trains out of Middleton, Wisconsin. After being wide, the train slowly moved to B-17 Tower, where it would be held for about 15 minutes. We had special permission and a waiver from Iowa Pacific to place an unmanned camera inside the cab of E9 number 103, giving you, the viewer, an inside look of what it's like to run a classic EMD locomotive. At the throttle to A5 was engineer Maurice King, accompanied by conductor Mike Polk, Brian Rose, and Jim Prokes. B-17 we would watch as Union Pacific Light Power met an all-EMD mixed consist by the O'Hare Airport. After the Union Pacific train disappeared from view, the local rail fans eagerly waited for the deadhead train to come into view. After a few minutes, the train appeared slowly around the connection. After a few more minutes and another passing Union Pacific train, the classy EMD bulldog-nosed locomotives eased out as the train passed the control point. At this point in the video, the train would be traveling over the Canadian Pacific to A5, where the train would then take the former Milwaukee Road through Rondout and onto Fox Lake. Before continuing on, a crew change was performed at Control Point A5. At Fox Lake, Jake Lipinski, a Wisconsin Southern pilot conductor, would be added to the crew, along with Iowa Pacific Company officer Don Pingle. This allowed us to catch up to the train amidst heavy Chicagoland traffic. In this segment of the video, we dubbed all the audio to avoid the horrible wind noise on the unmanned cameras. Please note that the audio is not authentic, and the engineer did properly sound his horn with the correct number of times for each crossing. At Franklin Park, we see the train speeding through town under an old signal bridge and then crossing over the Des Plaines River. Further east at HANSON Park, the train met a westbound Metra commuter train and a waiting freight train with CSX and Kansas City Southern motive power. Control Point A5, our train would meet several other Metro trains before being permitted to continue on its journey. Meanwhile, on the ground and in the air, we set up at RONDOUT Tower, watching 2 commuter trains roll by before the deadhead appeared. After the Metro trains cleared, the deadhead came into view, passing the classic tower. As of recent, the tower is no longer manned by Canadian Pacific. Note conductor Mike Polk as he excitedly waves at a group of onlooking rail fans. Fox Lake, and after the added crew members, we caught the train meandering over Fox Lake and Lake Pistocki on the Wisconsin and Southern. Here, we are also given a look at the full train set. Notice the bi-level commuter cars, which are also ex-Wisconsin Southern. About a week before the move, the coaches on today's Deadhead were vandalized and tagged on Iowa Pacific's property. It took quite some time to remove the disgusting paint smears, but the folks at the Chicago terminal did a nice job in removing what they could. Near the state line, we caught the train rolling through wide-open farm fields. The bridge at this location still bleeds through its Milwaukee Road heritage and is observable with a close eye. At Walworth, Wisconsin, a crew member was dropped off and the train continued west. Janesville, Wisconsin would be the last location we caught the train. Here, along the Fox River, a group of fishermen were fighting the currents as the train approached. Janesville is a great location because of its fantastic bridges, making these aerial drone videos well worth the effort. We caught the train again over the Rock River for one last time on the northwest side of town. The train would continue on to Madison, but we would end our chase here due to lack of nutrition, sleep, and an invitation to eat barbecue with Norfolk Southern staff photographer. Thank you for watching Delay in Block Productions. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or like us on Facebook for more great railroad media just like this. And don't forget to check out our website for our most recent DVD production, The Cass Scenic Railroad, which is now available on Amazon or through Marshall Publishing.